farmers, and welcome back to Kinlaig on Farming Simulator 25. It's a Monday and it's also December. Hello December, how are you doing? It's been a while. But anyways, in game it is August and we're gonna get started today by getting these onions harvested so I can kind of see how much extra onions I got left over. Our vegetable production is almost full of onions, and I still got this field here to harvest. We did upgrade. We got 3 productions going in there to use onions, and I got them all at 300%. So hopefully I'll go through them rather quickly because I have really no place to store onions, but one step at a time. We also got a tornado that'll be coming later on in the month, so got to make sure all of our crops that are harvestable are harvested by then, and they should be. Hello, Miles, Crystal, and John. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Crystal's going to be doing some housework, but listening in the background, I suppose. So, a mod came out on the Mod Hub today that I've always wanted in Farm Sim 25 for a while. It does seem to work pretty good, although just one small thing I don't think is calculating. So today on the Mod Hub, and I think it's for PC and Mac players only, it's giving you the net value of your farm. But I don't think it works with the enhanced loan system that we got. So today on the Mod Hub, if I scroll on down, I think it's just called, I know the mod's like net value mod or whatever, something like that. So basically, it just adds up everything that, you know, your equipment, your land, your buildings, everything, what it's worth. And it gives you a value down here of what your farm is worth. And you can see our farm is worth $6.7 million. Now, it does say it does take into consideration your loan, but I think that's the base game loan. I don't think it's seeing our enhanced loan system. So we're going to have to do just a little bit of math ourselves. So we got a we'll say $6.3 million loan, and our farm is worth 6.7. So technically my farm is worth $400,000. I've been here 5 years and my farm's only worth $400,000. Imagine that. But this year should be a very good year, I think, especially with all the onions that we're doing. We're expanding, doing a whole lot more. The value of our farm is only going to go up. That's all we got to say. That's all we know. The value of the farm is going to go up. But yeah, that's a mod I've been wanting for a while, or, you know, that should just be in the base game, honestly. But, you know, there's some things I feel like that, you know, why do we care that's in the base game? There's other things I think that should be in the base game, but who knows? Farm Sim / Giants is always going to add things in the future, I'm sure. But anyways, for today, yes, we got to harvest our crops, which is onions. We should get to soybeans and maybe even the cotton today. We will see. Again, the cotton is one of those type of crops that we are going to harvest, but we're going to put them aside until I did not get a chance to see how many I need to stack up. I'm not too worried about it because I'm not going to get it done in the first year, but there's an achievement. If you sell like 20 or 40 modules of cotton in one go, you get an achievement. And unless I get 20 modules in the first year's harvest, which we won't, then I'm not going to worry too much about it. We'll have to stock them somewhere. So again, yep, December is here. And tomorrow, it's where I live, is going to really feel like December is here when they're forecasting a winter storm warning. Always love those. But luckily I don't have to, well, tomorrow, unfortunately tomorrow I will be driving tomorrow. But my old job I used to drive quite a bit, and you know, that kind of seeing winter storm warnings I hated because I had to drive in it all day long. And unfortunately I will be out of town in the morning tomorrow, so I hope I can get back home before the storm really gets too bad. I mean, it's not a huge storm. They're only talking like 7 inches plus or something like that, so nothing major. Until I start hearing feet of snow, then I don't get nervous or worry about it. So we should get about 140,000 liters of onions off this field, I think. But yeah, using the Colossus harvester, so much better than the base game stuff. Just my opinion. Other people are probably not going to like this type of machine and say, no, you should use the base game stuff. Hello, Bob. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday and good start to your December. Oh yeah, I think my JCB is down in the other onion field. We got to finish plowing that up. I know one thing, this Colossus does seem to get dirty rather fast. But luckily it's just leased, so we're just going to go ahead and ship it back to him. Maybe I'll wash it before I return it, just to be a nice guy. Be good to the store will be good to me, right? Is there an option for a 50 or 100 foot extension? Well, let me go into the store page. I have no idea. First I got to get down. It's under beet harvesters. And then if I do combinations, it does say the working width can be 4 to 50 meters wide. So, I mean, if you really want to go unrealistic, it can go up to 50 meters wide, and you can harvest at 90 miles an hour with that header if you want. And that'll do carrots, parsnips, red beets. That will do peas. That'll do peas, spinach, green beans, and onions. And this is part of the Colossus root crop harvester pack. So up to 50 meters and harvest at 90 miles an hour seems a little bit absurd, but if that's the way you want to farm your veggies, then go for it. Imagine the header 10 times this size. I'll be done with this field in like 2 minutes. And a minute and a half of that would be me just turning around. All right, let's go grab the semi, unload the onions into there. Yeah, the tornado's not going to be here until evening hours. Is that correct? Nope, 4 o'clock. Okay, better get these harvested. Yeah, there's a lot more options there for the headers, but I'm not going to go through them all. I just went to the major extreme side of it, so you can see that you could really... Man, the exhaust on this truck is going to get me every time going underneath that. You can kind of see the extreme that you can get to with that type of header. Hello, Blue Streak. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday so far and had a nice weekend. Yeah, just a reminder, I did release an episode of Shamburgo earlier today, and the one for Wednesday is already posted as well. If you're a channel member, you can see the video that's supposed to go on Wednesday already, but Shamburgo has been released for today. And as I said, the one for Wednesday has already been posted as well. That's what I was pretty much doing yesterday, along with testing a couple of things. So the only thing I was only on here for about a minute or two before the stream started, just checking out a couple of things. I know the animals are pretty much good to go for the rest of the month. It's the sawmill. Sawmill I got to check on. We got to bring the fish food on over to the young fish production. Those are things I know we have to do. Also, I can't remember if I fertilized the grass fields or not. No, we're not full enough. I was thinking to unload. How do I change my chat times? Remember, his videos come out to me at 4:30 when I'm asleep. That's just when I schedule the videos to go out. So, like, last night, that's probably the time I scheduled the Wednesday video to go out. But if you're a channel member, you probably get the notification right away because you have access to it right then and there. On Discord, you can go to... For every channel that you're in, you can turn off notifications on the channels, so you don't get notified about certain things. So when you're in a Discord channel, if you click on the channel and it goes to notifications, they'll give you options what to turn on or off. Like most of the Discords I'm in, I turn off notifications unless I get pinged personally. But there are other ones like the Giants Partner Program where I leave all notifications on. Because obviously I want to see what they're posting. And what information they have for us. For those also wondering about Wild Roots Chef versus Critters, the guys have been rather busy over the weekend, and I did play a little bit of Wild Roots yesterday, and it seems like a lot of the bugs that we have seen were taken care of. There's still a couple more bugs that they need to work on. I like saying bugs when it's Chef versus Critters, but yeah, things are looking pretty good for Wild Roots. And Wild Roots is something I might be streaming tomorrow. as I said, tomorrow morning I got to be out of town. And with the winter storm coming in, I'm not sure exactly if I'll be back in time for the stream or not, but if I am back in enough time for the stream tomorrow, I will be streaming Wild Roots. Thursday, I will be streaming ATS when Louisiana drops. And right now, Wednesday is usually my day off, so yeah, looks like tomorrow, Wild Roots, Wednesday, probably a day off, and then Thursday is ATS for live streaming. Yeah, as for you getting dinged when my videos go live for you, I am a night person, so I do a lot of my recordings like after 10 o'clock at night my time, so by the time I render them, upload them, I probably end posting them around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning my time. So in the UK that would be, as Bob said, about anywhere from 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning it might get dinged. Just consider me your early morning alarm clock. Just that my alarm is at random times. Hello, Panther. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday so far. I am starting to really like this harvester. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as the Ropa that I've used before. It's just that it has a little bit more options. And the biggest option it has over the Ropa right now is we can do onions this way. Also, I don't think... Let's see, I'm going to go over the hour anyways on this, so I'll just leave the engine running. I don't think the Ropa one that I have does... Oh, wait, that's not the... Wait, do I not have that one on here? I must have. Oh, wait, where's that? What category would that be under? Oh, vegetable harvesters, I think. Yeah, that does not do, like the Colossus, that does not do the new crop types. This would do peas, spinach, and green beans. I think the Colossus just moved up on my list. To be able to harvest peas with this, that'd be great. Not that I want to do peas anytime soon, because I really don't have any use for it. I mean, if I'm going to do any pea harvest, it would probably be with this, not the base game. Although I would like to use the base game harvester, just as we know, that pea harvester in the base game, the Oxbow. Yeah, I just wish the... well, there's a lot of things about that Oxbow. I wish the capacity of the peas was a little bit higher. And also, I wish the conveyor belt that comes out was a little bit higher also. Now, another thing I was just thinking before the stream that we could be doing here on Kinlaig, because I don't think I've done it anywhere yet. I kind of have used a BGA, I think, in some way, shape, or form, but I really not have used one on the map. I know in Riverbend Springs, I bought the BGA, the last step, but the BGA is so expensive, and it would take me forever to get my money back on it. But I mean, we got tons of slurry and manure for the cows. I say tons. We got a good amount. So, you know, maybe if I start getting too much money, we'll buy the BGA. But I think it's like $1.8 million to buy the BGA. Oh, yeah, also, I did post an episode of ATS yesterday, getting ourselves set up for the Louisiana DLC, which should come out on Thursday. Yep, we should be able to finish this harvest up before the twister gets here. So of course we got a couple of fields that got crops growing in them. The canola field we just planted this month, so we don't have to worry about that one. The crop hasn't germinated, so it should be protected. But our soybean field and our 2 cotton fields will be at risk. Might as well go unload this here. Now again, our vegetable factory is pretty much almost full of onions. So it's not going to take all of these that's going to be in the trailer. So hopefully I can, well, hopefully the onion factory will go through enough onions to where we can unload the rest before I need the trailer again. Which should not be until October for the soybeans, so should give it about a good month. Yeah, we did go over the hour on this, but that was kind of be expected. I actually thought the first onion field that we did, which we did on Saturday, I thought that field alone was going to take me an hour. So to get that field done and to get most of this field done in an hour, that's pretty good. And if we go by the old equipment, I hate saying old equipment because it just came out in the TLC, but if we use the base game onion harvesting equipment, it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to just get the onions out of the ground and put them into rows. Then it took me like another half hour at least to pick them up. So almost 2 hours, we'll just say about 2 hours to harvest this field with the base game stuff. And now we're going to harvest 2 big fields. The other field's bigger than this one, but we'll harvest both fields in just about half the time we used to do just this one field. Will this all fit into the trailer? I think we're going to be all set. I just had a slight concern now thinking, I mean, yeah, we're going to fill the vegetable factory with onions, which means I'll have onions up in the trailer. And if we do harvest enough, I may actually have some left over inside the harvester because I might fill up the trailer. Hopefully, once we unload it into the vegetable production, I'll have room to unload the harvester into the trailer, or else I may have to keep the harvester for a little bit. So yeah, do like this Colossus root crop harvester. Performs very well, as you would expect. I mean, the slight thing I always thought about the Colossus is it does so much more than what the base game stuff is, but to also be a cheaper price, that always kind of personally got me just a little bit. It's like, maybe it should be the same price as the base game equipment, or maybe just a tad bit more, because it can do a whole lot more. But this machine is a lot cheaper, isn't it? By like 100 grand, maybe a couple hundred grand. onions harvested. And it's going to be kind of tight getting this all into the trailer, but like I said, the vegetable factory will take some. And then the rest can just sit in that trailer. I don't need that trailer, I don't think, until September. So we got a little bit of time for the production building to go through what needs to go through. Let's see, we'll just say 25,000 liters. Can I dip 25,000 liters in there? And the answer is yes. Let me just turn off the truck there, because I'm actually just going to drive the harvester over. And we'll dump this right on in. Hello, Jay and Scarly. Welcome. The onions and the harvester fit in the production. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine with the onions. We're not gonna have to keep the harvester at all. This is gonna fit into the production building, and then I'll figure out the trailer situation until I need it. Yeah, I kind of forgot. It is Cyber Monday, so be careful out there. I mean, a lot of things going on the internet today, and that's usually when a lot of attacks can happen. I said I was going to give this a rinse before I returned it, but since I'm going to the vegetable production, I'm not going to drive it all the way back to the farm just to wash it, because it doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to dump this into the production and return it. So the field to the right, that was the first field of onions that we had. And the field to our right, that's our soybean field. Alright, belt out. You can see we already got pallets of onions coming on out. And yep, all the onions have been taken. All right, let's go ahead into the vehicle page, leasing, return the header, and return the harvester. All right, let's jump into the JCB, and we'll finish plowing up the onion field, the first one. So yeah, we did plant our fall canola. We will be planting our fall, I think it's going to be wheat this upcoming year. And the same fields that we always do. And the rest of the fields, that's spring planting. And I'll figure out what's going to go where in the springtime. So somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're at 1:30, we should be getting a twister somewhere. So we'll get this plowed up. We'll bring this back. Maybe I'll get myself a worker to plow up the onion field that we just did, while we take the semi and we put on the low loader and we go pick up the fish food and get that delivered. Nice little field to work in. You get a good view of the bridge, get a good view of the castle. I don't think we can see the windmill from here. It's blocked by some trees. Would have been kind of cool if we could have gotten around, because we did rebuild the castle, if we could have rebuilt all the other stone buildings that are kind of in rubble, but I think that would be a little bit too much maybe for the game to handle. And would be kind of cool when the train goes on through, the steam actually comes out of the stack. So we do own the planter, in case you missed that. So when it comes time to planting some crops in the spring with a planter, we own that. And again, this field here, we bought this field. Did I buy this field last stream or the stream before that? But either way, we bought, this is our most recent field that we bought. I don't see myself currently wanting to buy any more fields. I think we got quite a few. And I'm getting to that point of, if I start buying more fields, it's going to be kind of hectic when harvest time comes, to where I'm going to have multiple harvesters going. And then I'm going to be running around trying to make sure the harvesters are constantly on the go. So again, in case you missed it at the beginning of the stream, there's a interesting new mod that came out today. Well, I find it very interesting. Some other people may say, who cares? But it gives you your net value of your farm. So it's not just looking at your cash value. The mod takes into consideration your assets on the farm as well. So like tractors, equipment, sheds, animals, and stuff you haven't sold. And it gives you a net value of what your farm is worth. Also, it will, I think, base game loads take that consideration as well. It does not seem to work with our enhanced loan system. But I'll show you in just a second what I'm talking about. So if we come on down to here, and again, I think this is for PC and Mac players only. But it says farm valuation. I think the mod's called net value. And you can see our farm is worth almost $6.8 million. But we do owe about $6.3 million. Again, I don't think that mod is recognizing the loan system of this mod to see what I owe left on the farm. So, you know, usually some people like to see at the end of a series, oh, sell everything, see what your farm is worth. Now you got a mod where you just click on it and be like, no, that's how much the farm is worth. You don't need to sell everything. You don't need to sell the land, the tractors, the sheds. Just click on that page there and it'll tell you. Alright, let's plow up the onion field up here. So the field to our left, you can see that's freshly drilled with canola. And then next month, the field to our left will have the wheat or barley into it. Doesn't really matter which. All right, let's get ourselves a worker. $12 meter, 2 headlands, 7% overlap is good. All right, so our trailer was going to park that under a shed full of onions. And then off down to the fish food production to get that shifted over. And again, the reason why I don't have the fish food on distribute, I don't want to go into the offshore production. Alright, there we go. Safekeeping. So the one thing I gotta see... Have I fertilized my grass field? The answer is no, I have not. And the pH value is bad in it as well. Alright, so the grass field needs some looking after. Ignore the traffic laws in Kinlaig. They're very lenient here on that kind of thing. I always hope every time I take that corner, there's not a car coming around the other way. Some Karen left her shopping cart out here. Super strength to slide these across. I think PS controllers will work on the PC. Not as well as a Xbox controller, which, you know, makes perfect sense, seeing it's Microsoft and such. Alright, so we got 18,000 liters of fish food. So again, the castle, of course, is done, and the windmill, we finished that building as well, so no more building of material is needed. Let's start making some more little fishies. Let me just see, because it's cross. I haven't checked on the sawmill yet. Sawmill. Okay, we're pretty good on the wood. The quarry, we are fine on water and everything else. Let's bump up the. Oh, I'm already at 200% production on fish food. Do I want to bump it up to 300? I mean, may as well at this point. Bump it up to 300%. Bob, I would double check on your wheel if you go to your Logitech profile. Your Logitech profile will show you if your wheel is working or not. Get this back to the farm, and yeah, we'll take care of our grass field a little bit. Let's park this up here on the hill. And we'll park the truck under the shed. We get ready for this tornado, which should be here very shortly. The T8 is occupied with the forage wagon. The JCB is plowing the onion field. So we'll grab the Massey Ferguson, and we will grab, I guess, the Bredal spreader first. I was wondering this last night, and it just came to my mind as I'm grabbing the Bredal spreader for lime, because I was recording my Shamburgo episodes yesterday, and I was wondering because, like with the artificial fertilizer spreader, you don't get an even way of spreading the fertilizer until you go with liquid form, and I was wondering, do farmers actually, is it possible to spread lime slurry on their fields? And the answer is yes. Farmers do spread lime slurry on their fields, although it's way more expensive, but it is an option. So I was thinking, why not, I don't know if there's a mod out there for it, but to put liquid lime slurry in a sprayer, and that way we get even spraying of the lime on the fields. Now I know there is an option in settings, but I'll leave it on the realistic kind of thing. Is it under settings? If I scroll on down, realistic spread pattern on or off. Spreaders do apply a different amount of fertilizer or lime on the outside compared to the inside. I got that turned on, so I'm trying to keep it more realistic as possible, even though I do use mods that then make it not realistic, but sometimes you gotta do convenient things. Quality of life gaming, as we say. What is lime slurry? Well, lime slurry is nothing more than, well, like a lime milkshake. It's pretty much just lime with water. There is, not far from where I live, there is a lime quarry. And they sell a whole bunch of lime slurry, quite a bit of it. Yeah, I mean, if you just Google, do farmers use liquid lime or lime slurry on their fields, you can see that farmers do, but it's more expensive to do so. So, I mean, you can kind of see here we're spreading it mostly evenly, but on the outsides of where we're spreading it, it's not getting it exactly to where it needs to be. Looks like this field needed lime a little while ago. Apparently this is the way my lawn's gonna look tomorrow. Well, my lawn looks like this now with, we got some snow on the ground, but the grass is, it's not as high as the grass is, so we got a trace of snow on the ground. But I guess tomorrow where I live, we're supposed to get at least over half a foot of snow. So nothing too serious, but enough to cover the ground, good enough. Xmas party starting this weekend till the end of December. You're going to be tired. I am not a party person. I'm a party pooper, I guess, as the old saying goes. Alright, brace yourselves. The twister will be here in just a moment. I mean, with all these twisters I have running throughout FS25, I am due for one to go directly over one of my fields and destroy it quite a bit. I've only lost a little bit of crop, and that was way back on Riverbend Springs, and it was a little bit of a green bean field, I think it was. Alright, one little tiny section, then we can fertilize it. So you can see we're mostly green, but we got spots of yellow. It's because, again, it's not spreading it as evenly. And that's where I feel like liquid slurry of lime would do it nice and evenly. Actually, I almost said something, but I shouldn't say it because that episode hasn't come out yet of Shamburgo. I think I did that in Wednesday's episode, so I don't want to give any spoilers away. Alright, let's try to get some of our equipment put away. Not that it matters too much. Tornadoes don't affect our equipment, I don't think. Just the crop on the ground. Do I have any contracts that we should be doing? Not baling, fertilizing, no harvesting. There is a plowing contract, but for 4,000 on the other side of the field, not too interested. There is a spraying contract, but wait, where is that one? No, I'm not too interested in that going down there either. All right, so no contracts need to be done. Used to be a cement works in your town. Lime quarry is still there. Yeah, where they make the lime slurry, they for years they dig out marble. They're really known for their marble, but I think for the past 10, 15 years, maybe even longer than that, I always see on the train tracks their carts, and they're full of lime slurry. Alright, rain is here, and it says the twister's here. Not seeing anything around our farm initially, but that doesn't mean down by the sawmill that we won't be getting. That was the wrong command. That's the right command. Alrighty, so far, so this cotton field looks like it's going to be safe. Our other cotton field looks to be safe. Well, right now anyway, soybean field is okay. Where has it not spawned yet? Is it off the edge of the map or something? Or is this a false forecast? I think I had this once before where we had a tornado in the forecast and it never showed up. That's the pirate ship over there. Well, I'm calling it a pirate ship. Well, currently I do not see a tornado. So I guess I'm going to go about my day. Alright, let's jump on down to our... Is it a 2150 JCB? $21.35. Might as well top off with fertilizer. Get my fertilizer nice and wet. Alrighty, fertilize our lovely grass field. Can I use a blue shed for using it as a repair station? I think there's a workshop trigger in it. I mean, yeah, you can use it as a shed. But I got plenty of shed space as it is right now, so if I ran out of space, I would use it. And I'm not sure if there's a repair trigger in there or not. I can't remember. I would say there isn't a repair trigger in there, because why did I buy a toolbox unless I just goofed up and completely forgot about it? So let's see, after I get this done, I think I am done for the month. But I'm going to have to check out that blue shed again, because it's been a while since I opened up that door and had a look inside it. Also, while I'm here, the wool, let's move that aside. Now, do I have any sheep that are worth 1,000? I don't think I've checked on that in a while either. Yes, we do. I'm actually going to wait until next month, and then I'll sell a group of 10. That way, when they give birth, we should get 10 sheep altogether, I think. And that way, we'll be selling 10 at a time. So we'll wait another month. So in this shed here, is there a repair area? I don't think there's a repair area here. There's no trigger for a repair area. But maybe it's glitched out. So I'm gonna go up here with a no, it kind of looks like a repair area, but it's not. But it is a shed that you can use. Alright, so the cattle. Let's see, the grass is in the first growth stage, so I got a couple more months before that's ready, so we can go ahead and get some TMR in here. Let's see how much the cattle are down to. They're 20,000 liters empty. So I'm going to put in 50. Actually, I may even put in 60. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put in 60. So animals will be all taken care of. All the fields are taken care of. No contracts that we want to do. Production buildings are doing what production buildings do. But we'll double check here once we get enough feed for the cattle. And we'll have a look to see if the tornado is here or not. Maybe it took a moment to spawn in or something. I don't know. But I want to say it was Riverview that we were on where we didn't get a tornado. All right. Let's just get back up in the sky and see if it's here anywhere. Hello, Farmer G. Hope you've been well and had a nice Thanksgiving. There's our windmill that we built. That is completed. Of course, we got the castle on the hill. That's been completed for a while. Yeah, I don't think the tornado... I'm on the edge of the map right now. I don't think that the tornado has spot... Oh, never mind. Wait a minute. No. That's my soybean field. Well, I said it's been a while since we had any damage on our fields. This is our field. This is my soybean field. I ask and I shall receive. How long is this going to be here for? Forecast as late as 7 o'clock. Well, let's speed up time and see what happens. Oh, it's going away. It's going away. Oh, wait a minute, though. That might... Whoa, wait. We got a cotton field on the other side somewhere. Alright, our cotton field's on the other side of the river. So we did take some damage. Not a whole lot. That's not bad. That's not our field. But it is going towards our cotton field. Stay away from my cotton field. Stay away from my... No, disappear. Disappear. No. It's going right through my cotton field. My cotton! How dare you? How bad is it? Of course, now it's nighttime. You can't really see. Yeah, we lost a lot of cotton here. That looks terrible. It didn't touch the oak trees though. That would have been even worse, I think, probably. But so we lost some soybeans and I lost a good amount of cotton actually. Went right through the middle. Well, it is what it is. And you know, I'll leave that option on for destruction. Now, oddly enough, you can see where it destroyed there, but it doesn't show in my field that it's showing that it destroyed there. Why isn't it showing that it's destroyed here? But on this map, you can see it. Okay. We lost some cotton and some soybeans. Actually, we lost a good amount of cotton. He doesn't care. He's just here. I'm just taking care of Uncle Walter. I call him Uncle Walter now. Yeah, we just take care of him. Unlike on Shamburgo, where he bought the farm. I keep saying bought the farm, and people joke about that. He owns the farm, and we're there to help him learn how to farm, in a way. All right. Good morning. Did you even go to bed? Probably not. I didn't check the sale page. Anything interesting there? Well, I mean, header trailers. Don't need those. So September. Let's grab the Massey Ferguson, and we're going to go ahead and plant. No, I said Massey Ferguson. He jumps into the JCB. There we go. We're going to go plant in some... Did I do wheat or barley last year? I tried to mix it up. Not that it matters too much, but... canola... I think we planted barley, so I'm going to plant wheat. Actually, I may have set up my drill for the crop I wanted to plant already, so... Did I? I got it set for wheat, so that's what's going in. And then, do I have anything else other than plant wheat? I do got weeds in the canola field, but I'm going to wait until the wheat grows and grow weeds in there. We'll take care of both fields together. September, we already gone through the canola. Let's deactivate that. The soybean field should not be ready. And it's not. And, of course, the cotton is not either. So probably just plant this, check on a couple of things, and get to October, where October is going to be busy, busy. So we can see we put lime down here. We can jump over to the cotton field after we finish this, just have a better look at it, but yeah, the twister went right through. It didn't, at least didn't go through the heart of the field. It did go through it, but at the narrow end, not the wider end. I like the fact that we have twisters in the game and hail damage in it, but I think it needs to be toned down just a little bit. I think the amount of tornadoes we get might be a little bit too high. I think it should be kind of like a really special event when you get a tornado. I mean, some may think that it is a special event already, but I think it needs to be a little bit more rare, so when it does happen, it's like, oh, wow, a tornado. And hail damage, I think, needs to be reduced as well. I don't mind taking damage from those. It just, I think it just happens way too often. Oh, I also want to see how many. Actually, let me look now. How many onions did our vegetable production go through in about a half a month? Oh, it went through about 70,000 liters since we filled it. Well, almost filled it up. So by the time October comes and the soybeans are ready, I should be able to empty out our trailer into the vegetable production. No, I don't have any. I have not placed any silos on this map. I haven't even used a silo that is on the map. Yeah, I realize hers takes onions, but I actually like the way the farmyard looks as it came. I don't want to change anything with it if I don't have to, other than maybe add sheds if I need to. But looks like we're going to be okay with the onions. I think the vegetable factory is going to go through them all. Not them all, but it'll go through enough where I can unload the trailer. Already it'll take about 70,000. That only holds 120. So by the time we get to October, I should be able to put all 120,000 liters in that trailer in there. So unfortunately, though, with that tornado going through our cotton field, that's going to hurt me piling up my cotton modules to get the achievement. But that's farming for you. Weather conditions are going to affect you now and then. Really, you couldn't get that. You couldn't get that little piece there. So we're going through a little bit more of the seed here. When I was planting the, I think it was on Saturday stream, when I was planting the canola, someone thought it wasn't using the seed or whatever. I think it was in today's episode of Shamburgo, I was planting canola, and yeah, it was hardly going through any seed whatsoever as well. So canola just does not take a whole lot of seed when planting. This is the only game that you lost something from a storm. Well, I mean, from a tornado, yes, we just lost them here, but on Riverbend Springs, I did lose a little bit of green beans, but it was even less than what we lost in the soybean field just now. It was very little. Hello, Rosen. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday. We'll have a better look at our damage here in just a second. Is there any contracts I should be doing today? Good paying ones? A couple of plowing ones. Actually, there's one right next to us. Am I overdoing contracts here? I think on a plowing contract, I want it to be like 10,000 for the bigger fields. Weed spraying, like 7,000, 8,000 and above, I'll do. And since I'm not doing that much here in September, I don't want to be taking... I mean, if it was October and I saw that plowing contract, I'd figured I'll do it because I'm going to be busy throughout the month doing other things. But we're not going to be in September too long. Alrighty, a couple more minutes, we'll be done with this job. The sawmill, I think will be good for at least another month, but since October's going to be busy, I think we'll go down there and we'll get a couple of trees put in. Hello, TK. Welcome. Hope you're doing well for a Monday. Well, I'm still at time scale 10. We don't need to be at time scale 10. I'll leave it at 3 because that's the way I usually play. If I leave it at 10, I'll forget about it. As I just did because I probably slowed it down for the tornado when I was going through the fields. I didn't check, being Cyber Monday, does Giant Software have any sales going on? Whole bunch of deals going on, I'm sure, everywhere else, but I don't know if Giants has anything happening or not. So it does go to show that when the forecast comes up for like a tornado, even though we didn't have one right off to begin with, eventually it did show up. So now that I can kind of see with the onions how that situation is going, I'm wondering if I should just not plant 2 fields of onions for next year too. And if that's the case, do I need more canola? I feel like I got enough canola at least to get me through another year. Of course, when I say canola, I mean canola oil. All right, the wheat is planted. All right, now we'll have a look at our soybean and cotton field and see how bad it actually looks. Oh, I almost got confused with Shamburgo there for a second. I almost said, "Oh, it's September, time to sell the goat cheese." I'm on the wrong map for that. Oh, the door's already open. Drop that off. And yeah, we'll give the Massey a good rinse. Try to keep a few of you happy that I got nice clean tractors and such. Actually, I kind of like seeing my tractors with dirt on them. Okay. Let's go visit our fields here. And let's see, which way am I facing? So that's damage. Oh, you can see where the trees are. So our soybean field got hit a little bit. And here's the damage. So, very little on the soybean field. And that's okay. This one over here stings a little bit. Actually, let's get a bird's eye view. So you can see it went on through there. I don't know. That could be what? Maybe 5,000 liters of cotton, possibly? Something like that. I mean, at least it didn't go through this part of the field. And also, it didn't affect our oak trees over here either. So that's a good thing. Those trees are not full yet. Alright, so we're gonna chop down. I say chop like I'm using an axe. We're gonna cut down 3 oak trees and get those into the mill. Would be good to get the loan under 6 mil today, but I don't think I have enough material to do that. If only cutting down trees this size were this easy. Timber. And we'll cut this one down. Facing that way, I hope. And hopefully it's just that little piece, not the whole tree. Alright, we're fine. We're good. Let's get the wheel loader. And we'll fuss about trying to get these in here. How much material do I have in here? Yeah, a decent amount. Looks like I sold it just recently, but I do got some prefab walls to sell. See, I think I can sneak in here. Don't roll away on me. So each of these trees is about 21,000 liters of wood. Let me just, I'm going to quickly jump on Giant's webpage and see if they got any deals going on today. Being Cyber Monday and all. DLCs. Does not look like they're having any deals for a Cyber Monday. At least I'm not showing any. Seems like it's kind of unfortunate that they would do so. All right. Let's see. Just checking on something else there. Yeah. So no deals from Giants were watching yesterday's Kinlaig stream and that bus accident went bad. Yeah, and I had nothing to do with that, by the way. I had nothing to do with that. Can I get in here? I think I got it, but don't have it too well. But we got it in here. Alright, one more tree, and the sawmill should be good to go for at least another month for sure. I should have enough trees until the ones we planted mature. Can't really grab this one where I would like to, so... Actually, the ones on the hill look like they're getting there. Alright, they got a couple more stages to get to. There we go. Back up to 110,000 liters of wood in here. So that's good for, yes, 2 months. 2+ months, actually. Anything I need to be selling that I'm unaware of other than the normal stuff? No, I think we're all set. Again, there was a mod that came out there. We can see our net value of our farm, which is now at 6.8 million. But this mod here is not detecting our loan mod, where I still owe 6.25 million, 6.25. So if we subtract 6.25 from this, our farm is worth about $500,000 currently. Get back to the farm. So we got the wheat put in. I don't think there's anything else. Grass field is ready for harvest, but that's the first grass stage. We need another stage. The sheep. We should have 10 sheep to sell. Let's see, going out. Yes, we got these 5 here. We got these 5 here. And then we got some wool to put over here. Sam, I hear ya. Hey, buddy, what's up? Sam's always a happy dog. We will feed Sam. It looks like they updated my storm warning for tomorrow. I'll read that later on. It's going to snow it's going to snow no matter what, I guess. And, oh yeah, our cows. Do our cows have enough feed? They should have. Yes, they got plenty. They are good. They're out of straw again. The straw, well, whatever. Can anyone see your comments? You said something about giving away keys or something about keys on Facebook. I don't know anything about that. If they are doing so or not. I'm not on Facebook at all, so... let's see here. Do I need to be doing anything? I don't think so. I think we can go on to October. There's no sense of just looking for things to do here. And I don't really need to be selling anything. Let me just check the store page again. And there's a tree harvester there, but that is not going to work on our oak trees. I'm calling it early. I'll see you in October there, buddy. Yep, let's go. So our soybean field should be ready. We'll have weeds to take care of, and the canola and wheat field. Well, the grass needs to be cut. The sun is out. Good morning, Uncle Walter. A good October to you. Sale page. Nope, nothing there. Nothing that we need. I suppose, since I saw the herbicide first, we'll take care of one of the fields and maybe get a worker for the next field. We will do the field that's easier to see because the weeds have matured. Oh yeah, I think I actually do got cattle to sell. That's a good point. Kind of forgot about the cattle. They might be actually overdue to be sold. Yeah, the beef cattle... I don't know. I just don't think the money is there on the beef cattle at $3,500 per max. Especially when I'm giving them as much TMR and the price of the building and as much land as they can take up. Beef cattle to me just don't seem worth it. Dairy cattle, definitely worth it. But beef cattle, in my opinion, I don't see the value there. But yeah, I'm actually going past the peak value of the price of the cattle because when my Highland cattle are worth $3,500, they are at 80% on the way to have an offspring. So I wait another 2 months for them to have offspring, and then I think I sell them for like $3,350. How to enter, like the post, follow Farming Simulator, comment. In other words, get the community built up on their Facebook page and they'll give away 2 keys apparently. Or however many keys they're giving away. Actually, it didn't take me that long to do this one. I was going to work for the other field, but we can knock it off here pretty darn quick. So after I get this done and go back, we'll have a look at our cattle, because I think it was September I was supposed to sell a couple. Who makes the fermenting silos? I do believe that's Omatana. Made those. Yes, Thomas, I can see you in chat. I've said hello to you. I've commented on a couple things that you posted. Unless you are getting ads at the wrong time and you're not hearing me, but... I see you in chat. Sometimes I do think when I'm doing the herbicide, it might be easier to just let the weeds grow to the mature stage, because they're much easier to see where they're at. Just to make sure, but I think I got them all. Up to here, growth, weeds. Yep, all the weeds are gone. So for a couple that were there. See that 16 times map of Mod Hub. Never thought I would see the day a map be that big on Mod Hub. Just surprised to see it. Hello, Smokin' Joe. Hope you're having a good Monday. Was it in FS 17 or 19 there was a 32? Wasn't there a 32 size map on the Mod Hub, or was that on a third-party website? And I think it was an Australian map. And the fields, I think that like the cheapest field in that map was like 10 mil. All I said, Thomas, about the keys is I don't know anything about it because I'm not on Facebook. But Farmer G pretty much said what needed to be said and how to enter the giveaway on that. Cows, yes. Let's get down to the cows. Alright, cows going out the door. Yes, they have reproduced. They're up to 10%. But they need to go. And these will have offspring in a while, but the rest of the cows can stay. Did we go through... Ooh, they didn't run out of feed, did they? I am getting more and more cows. No, they didn't. This looks like they did. This looks like they have. Alright, so we can cut the grass and our forage wagon will be ready. Let's jump into... Yes, you. And you should be able to take... Yeah, they could take 140,000 liters of onions, and we got 120, so we're all set. No, Western Australia in FS22 was not the 32 size. Western Australia was 4 times map. So you can imagine how big the 32 times map was. I mean, basically one of the fields on a 32 size map was basically almost the entire size of the Western Australia map in FS22. Like I said, the fields were like 10 million apiece. I forgot how many hectares they were and all that, but I mean, you could have all the biggest combines, modern combines you want. It would still take you hours to harvest a field. Definitely a multiplayer type map, because there's no way anyone, a solo player, could keep up on a map like that. You would probably have to play at real time and maybe have like 5 days a month. And you would just be constantly busy harvesting over and over the same field. It would take that long. Alright, so all the onions we harvested will now be in the vegetable production. We're making onion salt, onion soup, and fried onions out of here. And all productions are at 300% just to try to get through all these onions that we had. Alright, and now we can just bring this truck right across the road just about for the soybean harvest. This truck and trailer look like they need to be repaired. So this needs to go down to the fish food. And that can take 60,000 liters of soybean. So the question is, I'm going to get 60,000 liters of soybean off that field. Coming through with the Rasta mash. So the weeds are done, soybean field harvesting, and grass cutting. That's the field work that we need to do. And then I need to get into selling some stuff, like the sawmill and the stuff at the quarry would be good. So I kind of was looking at the field to our right if I want to purchase that, because that would kind of combine or get all of our fields connected in a way. Because that field over there that's green, that's our canola field. But that field there, apparently the soil type in that field is not the greatest. I mean, it's not bad. It's at 97% soil. So, I mean, it's not bad. But it's also not great either. So at least with the soybeans, if I do get over 60,000 liters, which I would love to be able to, the fish food production will take all of it, but the silo we have at the farmyard should take soybeans. Like, and I haven't used it at all, but I assume it's just a base game type silo, so it should take soybeans. Kind of weird. I was harvesting soybeans yesterday for Shamburgo episodes, and here I am again harvesting soybeans once more. Let's go up here and harvest this section where the tornado touched down a little while ago. Let's get rid of the evidence. Felt good when it touched down here and it moved away. I'm like, oh, good. It did a little bit of damage, that's fine. But then it headed right for our cotton field. And I do have a modded John Deere cotton module harvester that we're going to be using. Just going to lease it. Being soybeans, I'm not sure if I'm going to get 60,000 liters off this field. That'd be quite a bit. You asked a while ago about being able to sell, I guess you mean production buildings, but why? What about those already in maps? Why can't you sell those? You can sell, as long as you own them, you can sell them. The only ones you can't sell, like on this map, you cannot sell the windmill that we built. Because even though that's a production building, that's actually a constructible. And they don't want you to get rid of that in the map, because I think that would mess up the file. But yeah, you can sell any production building that you own. Will I be full before I get to the truck? Don't think so. The yield is good, 122%, as we can see in the upper left-hand corner. That's why we bought the field. Good soil. So after we get this done, I think I will switch over, because we're going to be in the semi. We'll drop off the soybeans at the fish food production, of course. And then go back and get the low loader. And I'll probably deliver canola to both the fish food and the vegetable production. And then we will head to the sawmill and we'll start selling some stuff there. So when we get to next spring, I have to reevaluate what our productions are going through the most and which ones I really want to make sure we keep up on. I think I'd rather keep up with the vegetable production more than the fish production. Fish production, again, as I said, I don't think the profit is good enough to really warrant me to keep on pushing it as much as I am. Especially from what you guys said, Farmer Cop did a test, and it's cheaper to buy the fish food than it is to make your own. Had a scan this morning to see if you had a hernia, and it appears you do not. Well, that's good to hear, John. Glad that test came out good for you. Although, there's a reason why you had to get a scan, so hopefully whatever's causing that trouble is not too serious. See, you got all the onions in. I don't know what you're talking about, Crystal. I never had a problem with onions. Not once. turn the beacons off. We don't need those in our own field. Thought I heard you had to put some in the trailer. Oh yeah, we had to store 120,000 liters in the trailer, but luckily the production building went through enough to where we can unload the 120,000 liters just in time for the soybean harvest. But me and onions get along fine. Never had a problem with them whatsoever. Nah, they have never withered on me once. According to the scan operator, there's nothing to worry about. Well, the question would be then, well, I mean, why were you getting the scan? I mean, there must have been a reason why you were getting the scan, so hopefully whatever the reason was, you found a solution to it. Soybeans. Just double check on the sale page. Prefab walls. Yeah, we got $73,000 with the prefab walls. That's looking good. Wood beams, of course. All the wood stuff. Wood. It seems like wood doesn't. The wood is always at a good price, so I'm not too sure. I am seeing the warehouse logistics center. Let's see what we got. Wood beams logistics. Wait, wood beams? Magical toys. Warehouse. Maybe they'll sell everything at the warehouse today. I mean, it's kind of the same spot of where I usually go. Yep, Crystal, never a problem with the onions whatsoever. Everything's gone smoothly with the onions here on Kinlaig. So if I sell the prefab walls first, that'll bring a good amount of income. I do need to leave a little bit amount of money for... how much is that going to cost me here? That is under Is that just under harvesters? Where is that under? Oh, wait, I think it's under... There we go, cotton harvest, its own little thing. This is what we'll be using. And if I release that, that would cost me... So I need about 20 grand left in the bank account for November. Yeah, November is when I'll be able to harvest the cotton. I need 20,000 to lease that. I know it said 15 and change, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go over the hour. Well, John, that's not a good place to get one, but I'm glad. Apparently, from what they said, there's nothing to worry about. So, I guess that's the main thing at this point. But I would like to get that loan down below 6 mil today from the original 8. Day one, we borrowed $8 million and bought land, tractors, production buildings. Spent all of the $8 million pretty darn quick. So in 5 years, we have expanded a little bit and also paid off the almost $2 million worth of that loan. I mean, basically, I'm going to keep doing it, though, because it's part of the DLC. Basically, making my own fish food, I'm losing money. Because it's apparently cheaper to buy the fish food than make it. But we'll keep on plugging along a little bit with the fish production. Hopefully, Giants will tweak it in an update to where either the fish food in the warehouse is more expensive, or put in more cycles per month. Actually, it wouldn't be more cycles per month. You need to reduce the recipe to make the fish food. Putting in more cycles per month, that just means you'll get more fish food, but you're still going through the same amount of material, so the price is not really changing what it costs to make it. But yeah, the recipe, maybe either add the amount of fish food that it makes. So basically what they would need to do is, for this, either put this up to like to 150 or 200. But I mean, I haven't done the math myself on this. But yeah, they would need to make it so where this makes more fish food, or keep this at 100 and reduce the amount it takes here to make 100. Yeah, so I was just thinking, I'm not selling, there's no grain that we're selling. The only thing we're actually pretty much selling as is, or will be selling as is, will be the cotton at some point. Not gonna quite get down to the truck. Should be 12,570 liters this holds. A nice round number. 12,570 liters. Oh wait, nope, 12,300. Oh, that's the case combine on Shamburgo that holds 12,570. So again, the fish food production can take 60,000 liters, and we're going to be somewhere around 30,000 liters right now. And I don't think I got another 30,000 liters in the field, so don't think I have to worry about storing it in a silo. Shouldn't say worry. We got a silo, so it's not too big of an issue. So this field should be fine on lime, and of course, being soybeans, we don't need to plow it. All of our fields are pretty much set to go, I think. The only one that may require some lime in it after harvest is the cotton field by the sawmill. I think that's been a couple of years since I've done that one. Actually, soil sampling. I'm not sure if I need any soil sampling done or not. Appreciate you all being here. Watch me do some farming on Kinlaig. Working away now, our goal is to repay the loan. The castle and windmill have been built. So now we're just trying to pay back the initial $8 million loan, which I got down to 6.25 at this point. If you haven't done so already.
Hello farmers, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Always helps out. So let's see, we got what, about 30,000 of soybeans? I think we'll get about 45,000 liters of soybeans in total, which is, it's not too bad. And this field overall, I think this is a 120 field, right? Nope, 103. I thought it was better than that. Maybe it's this field that's 120. Ah, yes, it's the onion field that we purchased. That was 120. I knew it was one of these two fields. So I have no idea when we'll be planting in this field next year. I'll have to figure it out basically when March comes to just finally decide what goes where. Also, it's going to depend on how much cotton we get. And I'm going to need to store that cotton somewhere. Because I would assume they're treated like bales, and if a tornado were to go over the modules, wherever I put them, if they're not in a shed, they will disappear. And I don't want that to happen. Well, maybe not even 45,000 liters of soybeans. It might be just 40. And that is the soybean harvest completed for the year. Yeah, this like right on the nose, almost 40,000. Which 40,000 liters in that trailer does not look like a whole bunch. We are done with this combine for the season. Back this up a little bit. That way I can get my truck out of here. Alright, to the fish food production we go. Cover up our soybeans. Then, like I said, we'll head back to the farm after this, drop off the grain trailer. We will do some calculations of how much canola oil the fish food and the vegetable production needs. Then we'll gather up those crates. Then we'll come back down to the fish food production, drop off the canola oil. Then we'll also pick up the fish food. Then we'll go deliver the fish food and then circle back around to the vegetable production and drop off the rest of the oil. Sounds like a plan. Now we got loads of fish food out there now that we up the production. In go the soybeans. Actually, we can go up and around this way. I always go through the village, but this way is a way to go. Actually, it might be even a little bit quicker, too. We don't need this for the cotton, so yeah, the trailer we are pretty much done with it until next harvest season. Alright, let's grab the low loader and we'll do some math. Some easy math. Didn't park on the hill good enough. Can we sneak under here? It just keeps pushing it to the side. Oh, no, it was there for a second. There we go. I got it. All right, productions. Fish food can take 6,000 liters, and the vegetable can take 3. So 9,000 liters is all we need, but I'm pretty sure it's going to grab more than that when I get over here. A little bit more. Alright, I grabbed 10,000, but that's fine. Then if I have any leftover canola oil, which I should, I may just drop it off at the vegetable production, put it in the spawn point, empty out the trailer, and then I can go right to the sawmill and grab that stuff. I'm trying to make my trips count so I'm not zigzagging across the map too much. Coming through. Alrighty. And now for the fish food. A darn shopping cart. Don't need to be forcefully pushing all this everywhere. Oh, wow. Okay, I've never had this much fish food before. But that's good. When it comes to next July, we should have a lot of trout and salmon to sell. But boy, that's... Even using super strength to move all the pallets is going to be rough. Payday will be good, but it's going to be a daunting task to get it all done. 40,000 liters of fish food. Is that going to be able to take all of it? Well, what it doesn't take, we'll just leave there. You need to turn a little bit quicker there, dude. Or I need to be more cautious of how I drive. But that's not going to happen. Alright, let's make a whole bunch of young fish. Yep, I think it's full. So we are going to... It may not take it automatically. I may have to come back here and lift up the pallets. Oh, I didn't know we can go in here. I mean, I should have known we can go in here. Seemed kind of crowded in there. Alright, shut that door. Don't want the fish getting out, right? Don't want the fish running away. Alright, vegetable production. Next stop, drop off all the oil. Then to the sawmill to pick up all the prefab walls. And then I think we'll cut the grass field after that before I go back to the sawmill to gather the rest of the stuff. The only thing using the vegetable oil at, sorry, the canola oil at the vegetable production is the fried onions. The soup and the onion salt is just using onions itself. The semi sure does get up to speed pretty quickly. Nice for getting around the map, though. Definitely gotta swing wide, though, with this trailer because the rear axles on the trailer do not steer like they do on the grain trailer. So a little bit harder to get around some tight corners. So let's go ahead and unload these pallets. Alright, to the sawmill. Until I crash. I don't crash. Hardly ever. At most, it's a mishap, not a crash. Make sure I give myself some room for loading up these prefab walls. It gets a little tight around the corner. And I'm sure we got more of these in storage. Strap there. Good. Got 6 of them in storage somewhere, so hopefully they will be the first things to spawn, but they never are. So we just gotta keep clearing these out until we get them. Wonder how the game determines what they're going to spawn, because this seems like random of what the next product's going to be. Give me my prefab walls. Thank you. That's all 6 of them, too. And yeah, I could also increase the production at the sawmill. We're just running at 100% base game-wise. But I feel like I'm busy enough at the sawmill already. If I were to increase production, I'd be down here a lot. But of course, if I were to increase production down here, I would just go through more wood as well, which means more cutting down trees, and I think that would screw up my planning of the trees and how much I got enough to get through, so... Again, I did not want to do anything with a sawmill when I came to Kinlaig, but since the castle required material, that's why we did a sawmill. Alright, where am I going with these? That's a good question. Since it is just them, warehouse. To the warehouse. I will unstrap and restrap them. Hopefully they don't wobble everywhere. But I'm guessing they are going to wobble. When I mean wobble, they tend, even though you got them strapped in, they tend to try to shift on you as you're driving. And my trailer, even though it is going to be top heavy, but I mean, it's going to be like 75,000, I think, is what I'm going to get. But that's before our score bonus, so we should get up over 100, you know, right around 110,000 in the bank account. Hope we make 20,000 subs by Christmas. It happens when it happens. I'm not too big on the numbers. I don't think... I mean, I didn't do anything when I hit 1,000 subs, which seems like ages ago. Didn't do anything too much when I hit 10,000 subs. 15,000. I mean, it's nice, but... all I try to do is just have fun playing video games and try to entertain as best as I can and have fun talking to you people during live streams. I mean, the more the merrier. Don't tip over. Not that it would be too hard. I got super strength. I should be able to flip it back upright. But I've been in other people's streams, either, well, it's mainly on Twitch, where they got like 10, 20,000 people watching them, and it seems good, but there's no way that content creator is keeping up with the chat at all. When you got 10, 20,000 people watching and probably hundreds of people commenting and So you just got, I guess you just got to pick and choose what you read and try to reply to. Oh, yeah, and I still haven't had a chance to look at that the video game or storyline of Siberia. I did mark it on my wish list so I could find it easier, but haven't had a chance to look at it. There we go. We're up to 115,000, and some of this money is going to go towards a loan, because I would like to get it down. If I can get it down to 6 mil, that'd be great. But that means I need a big sale coming up here, because I need about $250,000 to do so. So back to the sawmill. Yeah, before we do any more at the sawmill and doing one more load, let's go up and cut that grass field. That way all of my field work is done for the month. I'm actually surprised at myself a little bit with the fishing that's available to us on this map. Not so much the production, but as for the fishing with a fishing pole, I thought I would do a little bit more. But I just don't find it as interesting in this game for some reason. Wait, that was... Let's back up there. That was close enough to our lovely little Big Crone M. Sawmill is awesome. I mean, yeah, the sawmill is great, but I feel like I've used the sawmill in almost every series that we've done. At least I'm not using it on Shamburgo. Wait, I didn't use it on... No, I didn't use it on Penye either. So it seems like my recorded series I can stay away from the sawmills, but I think on every series I've live streamed we've had a sawmill. So this, of course, is going to be a quick job. And on the way out, we'll feed the sheep. The rest would go in the silo, fermenting silo. And I got to have a look to see what I want to be doing in there. So seeing that we just put down lime in this field, we might get up to 160,000 liters of grass again. But I think this field actually is the worst field I have for soil. But seeing it's just the grass field is doing what we needed to do for the cows and the sheep. I think it's going to be pretty close to being able to get the loan down to 6 mil. Already up to 75,000. So yeah, we got our canola and our wheat planted. We've already sprayed the weeds off in those fields, so they're all set until next harvest season. And we've harvested everything except for the cotton, which is due in November. And then every field that we have with no cropping yet, that's all waiting for springtime to be planted with either cotton or soybean. And onions. Don't want to forget the onions. And as for like purchasing the Colossus harvester, I mean, if it comes up for sale, maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe the same thing for the John Deere cotton harvester. If that comes up for sale, that might be worth buying. But I'm probably not going to buy them brand new. I'm going to try to stay more focused on just chopping off of that loan. But, you know, we've done enough live streams in 25, FS25, to know that I may take out some big loans, and it may take a while before we start paying off on the loan, more so. But once we do start paying off that loan, it does tend to go pretty quickly. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get somewhere around 160. I don't think I've gone over 160 on grass on this field. So I'm actually thinking I better make sure that I do leave some hay for the sheep for the winter. The way it kind of works for us currently, in the summer it's not a big deal because they're not going to the feed and the trough every 3 months. So every time I just cut the grass, we just cut it, top off the feed trough, they're good to go. But obviously going through winter, I'm going to need some hay in storage. So I better make sure that it all does not get made into TMR and don't have any grass or hay left over for the sheep. Not that the sheep are a big thing for us here on this farm. And not that anything would happen to them if they ran out of food. But obviously we don't want that to happen. 161611. So a lot of ones and sixes there. Again, the reason why I got sheep here is because this pen was already here. And I figured, well, if we're going to be cutting grass for the cows to make silage and all that stuff, might as well have sheep and get some little bit of wool from them, and of course sell sheep when they get to be at $1,000. That's the reason why we got the sheep there. I didn't want to sell the pen either because I think the pen looks pretty good there. Alright, so this is our fermenting silo. Alright, let's have a look at this production and see what's going on in here. What do we got here? So we got a good amount of hay and silage. So I think I'm going to activate hay and silage. I'm not going to make any TMR as of yet because I still got 288,000 liters. So let's... Actually, I think hay drying is already on. And grass silage is... That's already on as well. Okay, so the ones I want active are active. So, of course, we'll have hay to give to the sheep if I want to. But if I need to make some TMR... And in this here, I can just do it with hay and silage right there. So if I run a TMR, we got hay, silage, and all that. So yeah, we should be good to go. While we're here, straw. And I forget how much straw that takes. So I'm just going to put in 30,000. Good thing is I can put the straw right back in here. Let's drop that off and put the mower away. And I should be using the New Holland T8050 for moving that around. It seems I have relegated the T8050 for just feeding the cattle. Nope. Go around the fence, not back into the shed. There's our T8050. I did leave the engine running. So again, I am giving the cows straw because, well, one, I have it. Two, the manure is slowly piling up, and don't worry, that's not as full as it seems. And eventually, maybe I will spread manure on the fields, and the slurry's been full for ages. I either may use that for fertilizing our fields, or maybe eventually once we get like tons of cash after paying off our loan, Maybe I'll buy the BGA for 1.8 million just because. Now we'll put some TMR in here. I think I'm going to put 80,000 liters of TMR in here. So I don't need the forage wagon again until I need to feed the sheep. And 80,000 liters of TMR should be just about right. And the reason I gotta be careful of that, because I can't put the TMR back into the fermenting silo. So I really have no place to put it. I would always recommend cutting the grass in the second harvest. If you cut it in the first harvest, where did I figure this out on? Maybe in here. If you cut it in the first harvest stage, you get half of what you would get if you cut it in the second harvest stage. So you're better off waiting another month to cut the grass. Actually, let's bring the combine back to the farm. Don't want to forget it sitting here all winter. And then we'll head to the sawmill and then the stonemason for all that other stuff. Yeah, just remember when FS25 came out, there was a glitch with the grass, which has been fixed. But if you harvested the grass in the first harvest stage, you got the max amount like you would if you did it in the second harvest stage. But they patched that and finally fixed it. So now, for instance, so that grass field that we got, I get 160,000 liters of grass off of it. If I harvest it when it's in the first harvest stage, I should get about 80. So waiting an extra month to get double the amount of grass, I find is better. Plus, I mean, if you do it in the second harvest stage, you're still cutting the grass field 3 times a year, which if you want to do it in the first harvest stage, you can get 4 cuts a year. But it seems like that's a lot more work. But again, play your farm as you see fit. If you like cutting grass and you want to get the extra cut in, or maybe you need grass that badly, you know, figure out what's best for your farm. I should be smoothing this out so when I drive the combine in here it doesn't look as ridiculous as it does. Okay, back to the semi. There it is. And we'll start loading up all this wonderful stuff. Wood chips go into the silo, not the silo that's right next to us. I don't have access to that, but allow me to build the silo there. I thought since I owned the sawmill that I own the land, but apparently we do not. Why don't you want to pick up this one, huh? See if I can get a little closer here. That way we'll grab more of the pallets. This is why I don't think this would work at the docks of trying to auto-load from the boat. The trigger point is just going to be too far away. Even if I park as close as I can to the edge of the dock by the water and get the boat as close as I can to the dock, I don't think this is going to be able to grab the pallets of fish. So the wood chips are going to go into the silo, like I said. So we'll drive. When we drive over that, all these will disappear into the silo. And then I'll restack. It's on there. We'll restack it. So that way when I go to the stonemason, we should be able to get everything on there, I hope. Just don't back into things, because that, boy, still backing into things makes you bounce off like you're on a flippin' trampoline. Careful, because that trailer's going to wobble. It's funny how that does that, because if I drive into something, I don't bounce off like that. I come to an abrupt halt, but if I were to back into something, like when I back into this, I'm going to bounce forward quite a bit. Boing. This is going to look terrible. And we'll strap it in. Hang on a second, I'm taking care of the situation. Alright, let's restack the load. There we go. And, yeah. Can't sneak between those cars. So right now we got 13,000 liters of planks long, 10,000 liters of wood beams, and 21,000 liters of planks. And now to the stonemason, because I like putting the heavier stuff on top. Is that sawmill able to be bought or not? Well, of course it's able to be bought. That's why we're able to use it. You can't use something that you don't own. Alright, stonemason. How much material do you got for us? Hopefully this all fits on here nicely. Is that all we got? That's all we got. Seems like I should have more stone and roof shingles than what we have. Seems a little low. Does not seem like 2 months worth of material out of there. Trailer definitely wants to tip over. So you know me, I'm going to drive cautiously down to the logistics center. The trailer definitely always likes to tip over more towards the left than the right. But it does feel like I didn't get as much castle stone and shingles in 2 months than what I usually get. I didn't sell them in September. This trailer's been rocking all the way down here, it seems like. Now the Corey should be fine. We checked it somewhere at the beginning of the stream, and it had plenty of water in it. And I did see when I walked up to check to make sure I didn't have any more stone to be spawning. We had a good amount of big stone in the quarry, or sorry, in the mason to be used. So we're still getting big stone being delivered there, just that production does not seem as high as I thought it should be. All right, give me about 150,000. I would love 150,000. Okay, not quite. Not quite, but I will take it. It's still like 110,000 right there, so we're at 226. But yeah, the quarry is where this all starts, and we got plenty of water in there. And the quarry, you just got to deliver water to, which makes big stone. And stone mason does have almost 4,000 liters of big stone in it. So we got 226. Well, just because we're going to repay 225, 349. Nice round number. But that brings our loan right down to 6 mil. But that leaves me with 1,000. That's a good thought, John, but yes, I did see that at the beginning of the stream that we had enough water in there. It's always a good thought when your production building does not seem to be producing as well. You might be thinking, all right, so am I out of something, or am I just miscalculating what we should have? So I'm probably going to have to sell, let's see, we will be in November. We're going to have to sell some more sawmill stuff first thing in the morning, because obviously when I sleep through the night, the loan payment is, it's not $50,000 anymore because we've been paying extra off on the loan, so the loan interest has come down quite a bit. The monthly payment is still the same, but it's the interest on what we owe left has come down. And then I'm going to need about 20 grand. So I'm going to need about $65,000 worth of material to be able to lease the cotton module harvester in November. Worst comes to worst, we got stuff that we can sell if the sawmill doesn't do it enough for us. We got a lot of stuff at the onions. I'm sure those are going to be worth pretty good penny. Not the best value, because December is the best value for that. So we're going to park that there. I'm going to check the sale page. I don't know why, because I don't got no money. But a lot of green stuff. A lot of green stuff for sale. All right, so we fed the cattle. We fed the sheep. I think we got everything done that we need to. I'll feed Sam just because. And before I go to bed, let me just double check the sale page to see if anything is going to jump out at me. And no, TMR, but you know, we got to keep the TMR. So yeah, everything else is good. Everything else is good. I didn't check to see if I should be, yeah, I could have done some contracts today, couldn't I? Those were not bad. Yeah, that would have been about it. I mean, oh, that field there. I think that's the field I took a spraying contract on before, and it wasn't working for spraying herbicide on that field. So I definitely want to avoid that. But the plowing contracts, I probably should have been doing that when I was harvesting, but I'm not going to go do them now because I have nothing to do. Contracts, I want a worker to be doing in the background while we're doing our own stuff. Let's sleep until 9, because 8 o'clock in October was, the sun was barely coming up, so 9 o'clock should be about the right time. How bad is this going to be? Are we going to be like negative 45,000? I think it's going to be right around negative 45. Ooh, 54. Oh, production costs have gone up quite a bit because we've increased production. So, and I need about 20 grand. So I need $75,000 of material to sell. Yes, 75,000. Well, that contract is still there, oddly enough. That is over by the castle, which is kind of far. That's over by the windmill. Yeah, I'm not interested in that one. Well, Sam, I'm off to the sawmill. Did you eat all your food? Of course you did, because it was October, now it's November. You're probably maybe somewhat hungry again. Okay, let's go ahead and fire up the semi. Stick that over there. See, I'm not going to have a whole lot here to grab, but we'll grab what we can grab. And we'll sell that, and we'll see where it gets us. Maybe I should put the prefab walls on there. I'll see how much room we got. Nope, let go of that. And sometimes it bugs out when you get back in. It won't auto load, so we'll just redo it. Yeah, let me go. Yeah, bounce me off that wall there. That always helps. Let's go unload the wood chips into here. I'll restrap. The cotton is ready. We can see that. I restrap, but those pallets did not restrap. Interesting. So, I mean, the prefab walls, how many do I got there? 3 of them? The 3 prefab walls should be like 15,000 on their own. I'm going to put that a little bit more forward. And actually, you know what? I want to put you... There we go. Now to the stonemason. So again, the cotton, we're just going to be harvesting it and putting the modules aside until I get, I'm going to have to look this up again. It's either, I want to say it's 40. You get an achievement for selling 40 modules in one go. So we're just going to be harvesting cotton modules and putting them aside until we get 40. So we're not going to see a good profit from the cotton for a couple of years. So basically I got some fields that are going to have cotton in them. And yeah, just not making initial money off of them right away. But when I do sell all the cotton together, it's going to be a good payday. So it's been about 18 hours in game, so we not going to have a whole lot of material here either. But I need it all. Now the wood always seems to be a very good price, wood products. So prefab walls, planks, long planks, wood beams, they always seem to be, the price always seems to be very good. But as we'll see with the stone products, wait, castle stone. There is a bit of a difference between summer and winter. Summer, you can get 1,300 compared to 1,050 in the winter time. So there is a price difference there. Same thing can be said with the roof shingles. 1,800 down to 1,500. So yeah, if you're really looking at the price for the stone, midsummer is the best time to sell it, not winter. But really at this point, the way I'm looking at it is making the castle stone and roof shingles, it's pretty much free because we already own the production buildings. And the only input I need, really, that I got to take care of is the water. Water's got to go in the quarry, which then produces big stone. The big stone gets shipped over to the stonemason, which makes the big stone into this. So basically, I'm just using water, which is free. So even though I'm selling it not at the best time, I don't want to say I'm losing money because I kind of am, but kind of not. I think you understand what I'm getting at. But yeah, we need basically, I need $75,000 worth of material, but I think I'm not going to have that here. It's going to be a good amount, but not 75,000. All because I wanted to get the loan down to 6 million today. Which now it's below 6 million because we slept through the night, and with the enhanced loan system, it does pay on the principal as also with the interest. Base game, when you take out a loan, when you sleep through the night, it just takes the money on the interest. It doesn't repay on the principal of the loan. So maybe, do I have $50,000 worth of stuff here? I hope so. I'd be happy if it just gets us right at zero. And then I won't have to sell too much of other stuff to get me enough money to lease the cotton harvester. Hello, Kells Coded. Welcome. Hope you have a good Monday and you had a nice weekend. A nice holiday weekend. Ooh, it got me up to 5,000. Alright, so that was better than I thought. So, I need about $15,000 worth of material to sell. So, I mean, the fried onion is pretty close to where it needs to be. Wood chips are not quite there yet. I mean, that's a $13,000 difference. Onion soup. I think the onion products, boy, they're just going everywhere. That needs to go to the warehouse. That needs to go to Goldcrest Valley, and that needs to go to feed and grain. It's just going everywhere. So yeah, I'm thinking that I'll sell the onions, at least one of them. We'll grab like one of them and sell whatever one's probably closest. And that'll get me enough money to be able to lease the cotton module harvester for our cotton fields. But yeah, our loan should be now below 6 mil. Yeah, we're at 5.970 on the loan. Hello, Levy. Hopefully I remember that correctly. Welcome. Hope you're having a nice Monday so far. Unless I got some sheep to sell. Although I think, because I'm selling them in sets of 5, it seems like, that is not going to be enough to get me to where I need to be. Alright, we'll scooch around here and get to the vegetable production. Actually, I'm going to leave that right here for now. Let's see. If I'm pretty sure if I lift this up, it will take this. Yep, actually took them both, which is good. Let me go down to the fish production and we'll do the same thing there. Oh no, I don't have anything there. We got a lot of fish food though. A lot of fish food. How is the young fish breeding going? Oh, I need to go there. Yes, because I got fish food. No, that one, see, this one took it automatically, but the other one did not. So, yeah, we're making plenty of fish food offshore. How is that going? We got a lot of young... I don't want to say a lot. But, yeah, we got a lot piling up. If I visit here... Yeah, you can see the fish are really starting to pile up. And, yeah, we won't be selling these until next summer. So that's looking good. Yeah, the Corey's got water. Fermenting silo. We're doing fine. Let me deactivate that. Because production costs overnight are killing me a little bit. The windmill, everything is turned off, right? Yes. The other windmill, I can't sell this one because this is a constructible. Vegetable is doing what it needs to do. And stonemason, yeah, that's doing what it needs to do as well. So, yeah, the big story today, anyways, if we go on down to here, we had a tornado go through today. I forgot what month it was, August. And it did go right through the middle of our cotton field. Not quite the middle. That would have been the worst, going through that meaty part. But it did go through here, so we lost some cotton there. We also lost some soybeans in our soybean field right over here, just the edge of it, but not too bad. But the main thing is, though, we did get our loan down below 6 mil, so $2 million have been paid back to the bank. And, yeah, we're doing pretty good. Oh, yeah, I want to see over here, do I have any sheep to sell? We do. I got 2 of them. Why 2? I'll wait on those and get more of a cluster. Only 7. So I sold 10, only got 7. Interesting numbers. Yeah, I'll leave them in there. It's only 2 of them. Whoops. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll move that out of there. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap up for today. I don't want to get involved in this month here because it's going to take a while, and we're getting close to that 4-hour mark. And I got some stuff I need to go take care of. As I said, for tomorrow, I kind of plan on streaming tomorrow, but like I said, I got to go out of town in the morning, and we got some bad weather coming on in, so it depends on how the driving is tomorrow, what time I get back. If I get back in time for streaming tomorrow, or maybe a little bit later, I will probably be streaming Wild Roots. The guys have been busy over the weekend. They updated a lot of stuff, fixed a lot of issues. And, yeah, we got to dive back into there because we got a few things we got to sort out. If I don't stream tomorrow, then I'll stream Wild Roots on Wednesday. But if I stream tomorrow, I'll take Wednesday off. And then Thursday, of course, we got American Truck Simulator with a Louisiana DLC coming out. So that's my current schedule. I did release an episode of Shamburgo earlier today. An episode of ATS went out yesterday. And, of course, I will have an episode of of Shamburgo out on Wednesday. But if you're a channel member, you already have access to that video, as you may know. But yeah, I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate everyone showing up for some farming on Kinlaig. We're making some good progress. And we got to see a little destruction on the farm with a tornado. But next time, yeah, we will be getting into the cotton harvesting. And hopefully we can start collecting up on those bales. Yeah, but I'm going to jump out of here. Hopefully everyone has a good rest of the Monday. Hopefully I will be here tomorrow. I think I shall be. Weather permitting and driving, but we'll see. Yeah, appreciate you being here. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.